Ep5 and Beyond, building business knowledge from the insights.
The last episode, we asked Kuntop to clarify general concept on the decentralized finance and how it built around the ecosystem. In this clip, we asked him on the impact, especially to the financial industry, and what consumers like us need to adapt to the new open financial system. It sounds to me that with the whole of DeFi, the immediate industry that would impact or adapt to change on this would be financial industry. So would it be imagined that in the future we could live in the world without bank?
The world is becoming more and more digital, and software is eating up the world. Everything would be driven by software and computer program, and that is the trend we see in various industry. In the next era, in the next decade, we will see a new era of banking. We call it an open financial system, an open banking system. And by open, it means innovation comes from anyone, anywhere, anytime. And open also means equal access, right? Financial inclusion. And open also means instant updates with the latest software, latest innovations without too much latency. And again, if we were to understand the future of banking or the future of finances, the best way is to look at the music in the industry. Before, music were created by a single body and intermediaries. In Thailand, we have Grammy and IS as a big, huge corporation to create music. And they have monopoly authority over what the listeners would be viewing, would be listening to, how the music were created in the past. But with the arrival of the internet, with the arrival of the digital format of music, then we have a new players in music. We have a platform business. We have a media platform. We have a music platform. It's called YouTube. YouTube is the biggest media channels, the biggest TV channels, the biggest music channel, without owning any celebrities themselves, without owning any music, without producing music, without producing any content themselves. But they are the largest music providers. Innovation comes from anyone, anywhere, anytime. Anyone can become a singer. Anyone can become a songwriter, and it's equal access because with the internet, the marginal cost of production doesn't go up. So people with a phone that is connected to the internet can get access to music, and it's a cloud-based application, meaning that music would be equal access on any devices. With the future of banking, with the future of finances, the biggest financial institutions in the world will be a financial institution without owning any capital themselves, but they only allow free flow of capital. The biggest, real estate hotel chain in the world is no longer Marriott chain. It is becoming a platform business. For example, Airbnb or Agoda, right? They are the biggest real estate company without owning any hotels, rooms themselves, but they only allow free flow of people. Same with Facebook, they allow free flow of information. They're not the producer of information, but they are the biggest media platform in the world. So the biggest financial institutions in the world will be in a platform business. And with a platform business, they no longer need to own capital. They only allow free flow of capital. And with this financial platform, innovation, financial services will become protocol based. Right? People can create protocols, an open source protocol. Innovation comes from anyone, anywhere, anytime. And the application layer, which is the financial platform, can pick and choose different protocols, for the customers to get access to. Application layer would humanize all the DeFi layer, all the open source protocol, to make sure that people can remit money instantly, globally, frictionless. To make sure that customers can borrow, lend money. The principle of banking is here to stay. Regardless of what generation we're in, there's always a demand to lend money, to borrow money. There's always a demand to save money, to send money overseas, to transact. Right? The principles are here to stay. But what is different is the way we deliver financial services. It's going to be an open system where competition comes from anyone, anywhere. Innovation comes from anyone, anywhere, anytime. Right? And that's when we're going to have, excitement in the financial space. We will have a lot of new financial innovations and financial services that we cannot think of today, that are beyond our imagination, because everyone around the world who can come and help innovate, we would create a lot more new things than a few bunch of people in a closed loop system that gets to determine the interest rate of the country, the inflation rate of the country, or how people should get access to banking. Global citizens with 7 billion ideas would definitely win over a small bunch of people determining what the rest of the world should be able to access.
So it sounds like people like us seems to benefit from this technology and development, but all the banking system needs to adapt quite a lot on this latest technology.
With the evolution of the world, customers always win. We always get access to better, cheaper, faster products. With competition, customers always win. With an open system, it brings more competition, it brings more innovation. Customers always win. So we're living in a better world, right? And the world is going to get better and better. Humans, we are very good at creating things that remove scarcity. Right? In the past, we did not have enough communication. Communication was scarce until we invented TCP/IP, until we invented Skype, Zoom. Right? We can call each other for free now. We can also see faces. Right? Food was scarce until we can grow lab-grown meat now. Right? Food is no longer scarce. Light was scarce until we invented electricity. Right? We're living in a much better world. Right now, a lot of people are excluded from banking. 50% of the people in this region, in ASEAN, do not have access to a bank account.
Banking.
And, especially in the Philippines or in Indonesia, they are a cash-based society. There are islands, a lot of islands, and it's not profitable to open a bank branch on every island. And there's a cost of maintaining accounts. And people with below threshold of minimum income cannot open a bank account because banks are making losses on those accounts. So they're excluded from traditional banking. With an open financial system, it would bring down the cost. We no longer need to maintain all these bank branches. If it's just becoming CapEx, OpEx off, once we are able to reduce the cost. And the cost of innovation comes from anyone, anywhere, anytime. Then eventually customers are able to access banking in a frictionless, open, global, free manner, which customers always win in the future.
So that means one last question would be, and how would every one of us should learn or adapt into the new system that has been changing, so that we can fully benefit from those digitized worlds?
There are two groups. Right? The front end customer facing parts, or the ones deliver financial services. they would need to change the way they run the company. They need to change the way they think. They need to change the way they deliver financial services to people. Once we understand that money will no longer be paper-based, then we have to reskill, upskill the employees, the workers, right, the people to have the right skill sets for the future, right, to be able to code. Right, the bankers will becoming more programmers. Will be the future of bankers. The bankers of the future will no longer have the same skill set as today.
They don't need to know banking, but they need to know how to program and coding instead.
Yeah, they need to know how to program. They need to know how to code, because the basic of money, the fundamental of money, is a program. But for those users or technology user customers group, they just need to have an open mindset and willing to try and learn new applications. Just like those who try Facebook or who try to use Line to communicate with customers first, always beat the competitors to customers. And so those who have an open mindset, who love learning new things, would definitely benefit from new technology, because new technology always bring down cost, always deliver faster, better, cheaper services. So the behavior of customers are changing, but those who are able to change first would benefit first from the newest technology. And I would say the most important skill, whether if you are a financial services providers or if you are a customer, is the ability to learn, continuous learning. We have to unlearn the old system. We have to unlearn the old behavior. We have to unlearn the old beliefs, and we have to relearn the new system, relearn the new environment, right? Relearn the new behavior. That is the most important skill, the ability to unlearn and relearn things.
Okay, so the last question is that, so if the bank has adapted into the more digitized system like this, then how would they make every one of us understand, especially suppose we are walking into the bank, it's not just really a young generation that fully understand on this issue, but all the parents, the adults that may not catch up with these things. How would bank could include all different kind of generation and make them understand the way that the world has changed?
I guess it's the same transition to the smartphone. Before, the older generation did not adopt smartphone technology. It takes time. But customers are embracing new technology at a much faster and faster rate. How long would it take customers or one technology to reach at least 50 million customers worldwide? Right? The television it took television 50 years to have at least 50 million viewers, and then for the home telephone, it took the home telephone 22 years to have 50 million users. It took the internet 14 years to reach 50 million users. It took smartphone 7 years to have 50 million phone users. It took Facebook 4 years to have 50 million accounts. It took WeChat 1 year to have 50 million accounts. Pokemon Go is down to 18 months, right? Or 6 months. So customers are adopting new technology at a much faster rate. And with the new generation, they are born with iPad in front of them already. They're used to being digital literate by nature. I don't think the new generation would be walking to bank branches right now and do deposits or write a check, and they have to wait for a few days for the check to clear. They would be sending values the same way they send messages which is instant, frictionless, global. So we won't have any issues with the new generation. But the older generation, it takes time for them to adapt. Just like the internet, it would take longer for my grandma to order things online
delivery
than my parents to order things online, than my sister to order things online. They have a deeper learning curve, and the reason they have a deeper learning curve is because they have to unlearn the old things. But for the new generation, they don't really need to unlearn the old behavior. They can just relearn. They can just learn the newest technology, right? They can just adapt to the new behavior right away without unlearning the old behavior, like unlearning the old beliefs. So it would take longer for the older generation, and it would have, we won't have any issues with the new generation. So there will be this transition period in the next 5 years where we will see less and less numbers of bank branches. We can see clear trends now of bank accounts, bank branches closure around the country. We see the shift in the workers, or the employee ratio towards more digital-based, digital literates, digital engineers, blockchain, computer programs as bankers now. We see less and less bank tellers, bank branch managers. So there's also a shift in the organizational structure within the bank itself. Right? And I guess it's the next 5 years that we will gradually see the transition within the bank and also the end-to-end customers.
Right. So regardless of any generations, they have to face change and adapt to the new things that is coming, right?
Charles Darwin always, he has been saying this for a longest time. Not the strongest that will survive. The species that are able to adapt to change, that are the ones who will survive or win in the future.
Right, absolutely agree. Good talk. Thank you so much for coming today and sharing this with us. So this is Biz&Beyond, the programs that bring you from the expert inside. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching us and see you next time. ขอบคุณครับท็อป สวัสดีค่ะ